I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. I am here for my review of NXT, which was taped a week ago and it aired yesterday, which was Christmas night. I finally got a chance to see it. I did not get a chance to see it live because it was Christmas. I just didn't get a chance. I got a chance to see it the next day. So I knew the results going in, so I assumed I would think, I would see stuff in which I would enjoy, but I kind of know what's going to happen, so I never read the spoilers, but because it was taped a week ahead, I thought I probably should, Anyway, you start off from a studio, and all of a sudden I get to see Kathy Kelly, and she's wearing all red, and everything's skin tight, and she is so thick. Her ass is incredible. Holy fuck, Kathy Kelly is smoking hot. All I can think about is her. Like, what the fuck? She is insane. Her body is she is on a different level. She might be the hottest woman they have. And she's in studio with Pat McAfee and Sam Roberts, and they're talking about what happened at NXT this year. They're talking about what happened in leading up to tonight, and they preview the awards, which are next week. They're going to do the awards. I don't know if is there going to be a show next week, but there's going to be an award, so maybe there's both. I assume there's probably both. It's New Year's Day. They usually do it there. They won't do it on Christmas, but on New Year's Day you'll usually do it live. So they show they go to Full Sail and they show Roderick Strong sing a Hollywood song, like a holiday song, as he walks to a gorilla, and he's talking about getting a season's beating. He faces Austin Theory in an open challenge title for his North American title. Good matchup here. Roderick Strong's very good. It was enjoyable. They had a good matchup. We knew who was going to win. This is kind of a phoned-in show because it's Christmas, but this was okay. Bob, he got the Boston Crab and he got the submission, and he gets the win. So Strong retains. After calling the match, you had Maureen Allen, Nigel McGuinness, and they went back and forth to here in Brooklyn, where they each had shows. So it was strange. There was a show there, and there was also they taped something before Raw or SmackDown, whichever one was in Brooklyn, and they did some stuff there. They eventually go back to Brooklyn, and you have Beth Phoenix and Tom Phillips there, and they're taking. They're basically at the Barclays Center. You have Isaiah Swerve Scott against Jack Gallagher, and this was like a dark match on Raw or SmackDown, whichever one it was. This was okay. This is basically like a SmackDown thing, and they had the NXT lighting with Smack, which made it look a bit more major league, but it also took away the appeal of NXT. It looks exactly like a WWE show, and that's not what you want. You don't want a WWE show. It's strange. NXT works for the WWE, obviously. We know it's part of the WWE, but you don't want it to look like a WWE show because it loses its luster. This was okay. Isaiah Swerve Scott with the win here. Decent matchup here. And then they go, they do some segments, and they go to, basically they're able to bridge it and eventually get to back to Full Sail, and eventually have a women's matchup here, and a pretty good women's match. Two women I'm a big fan of it. You have Candice LeRae come out, and she's facing Tainara. They didn't call her Tainara Conti anymore. Tainara, her body is ridiculous. She has the best ass you can imagine. You see Latinas do it better. I mean, when it comes to ass, I don't know anyone who has a better ass than her. Maybe her and Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly in that outfit, Jesus. But Tainara is smoking hot as well. She is gorgeous. She can be a big star. They'll push her. I think they will. I think they want a top, female Latin star. She's from Brazil, so she has a great look. She can appeal to that audience. In Brazil, I don't know if they're huge wrestling fans, but I know they're big MMA fans, so maybe they can do something with Tainara in Brazil. Okay matchup here. Candice is very good. She's one of the best. They did well. I'm surprised how tall Tainara is, even though she doesn't have a big frame. She's skinny. Candice worked well. Candice is very good. She's one of the best female wrestlers in the world. She did a thing where she kind of puts her hair up and squares up almost. That took Sonya Deville's catchphrase, but she does that in the match here. She goes after her. They eventually have a good counterfest. Candice gets a step up into a backstand and sets her up on a springboard into a Cabrera, and she gets the pinfall. After she hits the Cabrera, 1, 2, 3, pins Tainara cleanly. She gets the win, and we'll see what's next for her. But Candice LeRae, clean victory over Tainara. They go back to the studio, and that's where they show the three Kathy Who cares what they're? I just want to talk about Kathy. They preview more stuff. Then we go back to Brooklyn. You have Dominic Dijakovic against Bronson Reed. This is such a dark match. It's so obvious. It was okay. Like, no one really cares. It's a fucking dark match. No one's going to care about a stupid dark match. It was fine. Dijakovic gets the win with the chokeslam, gets the fall. We all know who would win there. They eventually announced Worlds Collide, which is going to take place the night before the Royal Rumble. I don't know how big they're going to promote this Worlds Collide show. From last time was like Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. Here, they're going to do what they can. And the thing with Worlds Collide is they're not going to have TakeOver before the Rumble. They're going to have TakeOver before Mania. And I think before SummerSlam and Survivor Series, if I'm not mistaken. But they're not going to have it before the Rumble this year. They're moving it to Portland in February. So no, we're not going to do it in Houston. Houston, going to do the Worlds Collide. And eventually they announced the main events, the Undisputed Era against Imperium, an 8-man tag match, which will be a great match. And the whole show is going to be NXT against NXT UK. That's pretty cool. That's actually cool. I'm going to watch it. You know what? If that's what we're going to get, NXT versus NXT UK, I'm going to watch that. I think that's going to be a good show. I want to see that. They could even do something like, I don't know what they can do with the UK at WrestleMania, but that's pretty cool. And also wanted to mention, they were showing Best of NXT UK this year. I don't review that show. Maybe I should in 2020. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But they're showing stuff. They're showing Toni Storm's matches against Rhea Ripley and then against Kaylee Ray. Love Toni Storm. Well, that's on US NXT, but cool seeing her matches. Huge fan of hers. They do a vignette for Bianca Belair, and they're back in Full Sail. And you have Shotzi Blackheart against Bianca. And Bianca, I don't know, she wasn't... we eventually get this, and to mention Bianca, I thought she was going to be a huge star. Now I'm not so sure. I think with Bianca, they had her lose to Shayna, and that hurt her. Her image was linked to Shayna twice, but they're trying to build her back up. And she is someone who I still think can be a star on the main roster because of her look. And she has a decent match with Shotzi Blackheart. They gave Blackheart some... offense here, but Bianca was selling a bit too much, I thought, but eventually Bianca gets the KOD, gets the win, defeats Shotzi, and she gets the win here, and nice win for her. We'll see what's next for her. They go back to the studio where Sam, Pat, and Kathy are there, and then they preview the awards for next week, which are going to be really cool. I look forward to that. I wish they do Slammies. I miss the Slammies for the main roster. The Slammies are the best. That stuff was so much fun. I love the Slammies. Eventually, we go back to Brooklyn for a main event and a match no one cares about. Keith Lee and Leo Rush against Damian Priest and Tony Nese. Lee and Rush with the win. Not much to say here. It was a decent show. Look, for a Christmas show, they did the best they could. Not too many people are going to watch this. It's Christmas. It was fine. I enjoyed the show overall. I thought it was pretty decent. So that wraps up NXT Christmas edition. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas.